When I finally saw the truth, he would not be reasoned with. So I ended him. For this, I was called Oathbreaker. It was merely a choice, as I have made countless others since. What's past is past. We are here to discuss your future.
Hey guys, it's DBD Gamer Girl here. Welcome back to my channel. I had a lot of fun making the Baldur's Gate villains romance potential ranking, and I loved reading your guys' comments on that video, and there was a couple of villains I forgot, and honestly the reason for that is because initially in my head I was thinking about ranking all the Baldur's Gate bosses per their romance potential, but then later I changed it to villains, but some of them were still bosses and not exactly villains, so and I forgot a couple villains. So that made me think I wanted to make a part 2 for that video, but not just villains. I thought, let me do one for all of the NPCs that I like or find interesting, and then in the end I'll throw in a couple of the villains that I forgot. So the categories that I have today are Ruin My Life Please is S tier, Respectfully Obsessed is A tier, B tier is Casual Flirting, C tier is No, but I've thought about it, and D tier is I'm blocking you. So this is going to just be my opinion on these characters and if I personally would romance them or not. So let's start with the Oathbreaker Knight. Honestly, the Oathbreaker Knight is really giving fan fiction. Like, I don't know if you guys relate to this or not, but I've been on knight and princess TikTok lately. Like, I've seen so many TikToks about like a knight and princess romance trope, and Oathbreaker Knight just seems to be like the perfect candidate for a romance like that because he's kind of mysterious. He kind of has like, seems like he has a tragic backstory. Like he's a fallen paladin who broke his oath, and he's there to help you out if you do end up making that decision or not to, you know, retain your oath or break your oath. And he's very understanding and non-judgmental. Like he gives me like a dark knight in shining armor type vibe, if that even makes sense. So for me, I'm definitely putting him in Ruin My Life Please because he is extremely appealing to me. Like the mystery of him, you know, his backstory, his lore, and just like the way that he's there for you and how he doesn't judge you is just like, I loved that character as soon as I saw him for the first time. Okay, next we have Mystra. Oh my god, Mystra like really pisses me off because I feel like she's traumatized Gale, and even though she's actually very pretty, like I just can't see past like the fact that she's traumatized Gale. And over time, like as I've learned more about Baldur's Gate, a lot of people have said that it's implied that Mystra groomed Gale from a young age because he said that he caught her attention when he was like a really young wizard, and he was kind of like getting mentored under her and then eventually became her lover, which seems like really questionable at best. So Mystra just gives me bad vibes. I'm definitely putting her in I'm blocking you, even though I feel like she's very physically attractive. Okay, next we have Withers, which I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's some TikTok account that like always thirsts over Withers. I have seen recently also that there was some mod that like rehydrates Withers and he looks really young and hot, but I'm gonna disregard that for now and like talk about him in his current physical form. I mean, I don't know, like Bone Daddy or not, and like even if you put on Withers Big Naturals mod, like I just can't with him. Like he's just an old man, and I don't like that when you get into a relationship, he feels like he judges you either way. Like even if you stay single, he goes, oh, I'm surprised that you don't have a companion type thing. And then if you get a companion, he says, oh, I've seen you've gotten a bosom companion. Remember, eventually everything turns to dust. It's like he's judging you regardless of what you're doing. I don't really see the appeal. I wouldn't say I'm blocking you per se. Like, my hate for him is not that much. Like, maybe if I was desperate. So I'm going to say no, but I've thought about it because a couple of the mods have definitely made me at least think about it. Okay, next we have Barcus. Like, I don't really see the appeal of Barcus, honestly. Like, I guess he is kind of like a little nerdy tinker type deep gnome. And I don't know. I do like how when you first meet him in the windmill and you save him, he's expecting you to want something from him, and if you say you don't want something from him, he's like pleasantly surprised that you saved his life just for the hell of it. So I feel like he's very wholesome, but I just like, in terms of romance potential, it's like an absolute no for me. Like, I'm putting him and I'm blocking you. I mean, maybe it's a little crazy that I'm putting him lower than Withers, but with Barcus, like, I never even thought about it, like, at all whatsoever, regardless of mods or no mods. So I'm putting him at the bottom. Okay, next we have Dammon, which Dammon for me is 100% ruined my life, please. Like, I feel like he's so attractive. And the way that he cares about Karlach is just so appealing to me. Like, he just seems really sweet and genuine, and he cares so much about her. I've always been kind of a fan of like a Karlach Dammon ship. Like, I feel like that should be a canon bromance. And if she does actually end up dying, like at the end of your run, he sends like this really sweet letter in the epilogue saying that, you know, like how much he cared about Karlach and how special she was. And I know that's like all directed at Karlach, but that just makes me think how good and sweet and genuine and kind he would be in a relationship. I feel like he's so wholesome, and he's also really attractive. So just, he's definitely top tier for me. Okay, now for Volo. Honestly, I do not understand what people see in him. I just find him super annoying. Like, I don't know. I don't even like him being in the camp, and he yaps way too much, and he's really cowardly, and I just have like no attraction towards him whatsoever. So I'm putting him under I'm blocking you. Valeria also, I mean, first of all, it's a flying elephant, but if I even put that aside for a second, Valeria is still going in and I'm blocking you because she's just really... Wait, is it a she? I think it's a she. But she's just really condescending and arrogant and just like really harsh. You like when, for example, like when you try saving her from the murder tribunal, she's just like, just save me already. Like, what are you doing? There's no gratitude whatsoever. I just hate the personality. And then her being a flying elephant, obviously. I mean, obviously no. Okay, Zevlor ruined my life, please. I've actually wanted to make a mod renaming Zevlor to Daddy Zevlor, because I feel like there's a mod renaming practically everybody to Daddy, but there's not one for Zevlor as far as I've seen. Anyways, that unhinged thought aside, I don't really know why I like Zevlor so much. Like, I feel like he is really attractive, and I also like how he seems really genuine, and he's very heroic kind of, and he really wants to save his people and do what's best to save his people. Like in the beginning, he's even open to the idea of killing Gaga if that's what it takes. So I just really like that about him. And then at one point later in the game, when he's kind of taken over by the Absolute and acting under its control, like he has so much regret for that and how he treated his people. So it just kind of shows you how big his heart is, and I just really like Zevlor. I don't know what it is, but he can ruin my life any day. Okay, Alfira, I mean, she's really sweet and everything, but something about her is almost like a little bit too sickly sweet. I don't know what my problem is with her. Like, maybe it's just because she kind of is giving musical, and I don't like musicals. So I just really, like, I can't relate to her character. I just don't like her character. I mean, that being said, I don't think she deserves to die, like, as she does in Dark Urge playthroughs. But I'm just, like, not a big fan of her. Also, this one time I was doing a playthrough and I talked to her at Last Light in Act 2, and I accidentally made some wrong dialogue choice saying, like, when she was asking about her people and what I think is happening to them right now, I said something like, oh, they might be getting tortured right now. And I didn't mean that in a rude way. It's just like I was being realistic about what's happening. And she absolutely hated me from that point on in my playthrough. She was just like, what is wrong with you? I can't believe you would say that. And I don't know. I'm just putting her in no, but I've thought about it because she's not like the worst. And I feel like she's really pretty and cute, but I don't know. There's something I don't like about her. I think it's just the bard thing, honestly. Okay, next we have, I don't know how to say his name, but Omeluum, or is it Omeluum? Let me look that up. Omeluum?
What's up, Omeluum? Omeluum? Have a seat, Omeluum. I'm here for Omeluum.
Okay. I think it's Omeluum, but anyways, I actually really like this character, and I don't know what it is, but I don't mind him being a squid. I think he just seems really sweet overall. I feel like he's really kind and he's helpful. I think I would definitely put him in respectfully obsessed. Like, I'm not ruin my life category per se, but I do actually find him a really appealing character. Okay, next we have Dame Aylin, or the Night Song. I think she's really attractive in the sense that she's really confident, she's really bold, she has really good energy, she's very passionate about everything that she does, and her love for Isobel is very, very clear, and she gives me extremely loyal vibes. I don't know, so, like, personally, I mean, romance-wise, 100%. She's very romanceable, and she's a really good candidate for a relationship, let's say, but personally, I don't find her very attractive. I personally couldn't see myself, like, wanting to start a relationship with her, so I'm just gonna put her in casual flirting. She's kind of in, like, the meh tier for me, more for attraction reasons than for personality reasons. Okay, next we have Rolan, and Rolan is 100% going in Ruin My Life, Please, because he gives really strong enemies to lovers vibes. Like, he starts off really hostile and kind of aggressive with you, but if you take certain paths, he can become like really soft and sweet towards you towards the end, and I love that evolution of his character, so I think he's like the perfect romance trope, so I'm definitely putting him near the top. Next we have Isobel. Isobel also just seems really sweet to me and genuine. She seems very loving based on what I see of her relationship with the Night Song. And I personally do find her pretty attractive, like compared to the Night Song. So I'm gonna put her in respectfully obsessed. Hope, Hope seems definitely very sweet, very genuine. She's very strong-willed. She has a really strong soul. But to me, she would give me more of a friendship vibe. I don't really see a romance with her whatsoever. I'll put her in no, but I've thought about it. But I just don't really see a romance with her for whatever reason. I feel like she's kind of a tragic character, and I would just really want to be her friend and be supportive and be there for her in that way, I guess. Okay, next we have Aradin. Aradin, he is just so attractive. Like, I feel like he's actually super attractive to me. I kind of like that he's like a little confident and a little bit of a jerk. That being said, I would take Zevlor's side over Aradin's side any day, because Aradin definitely seems kind of cocky and just kind of an asshole. But I really like his energy. I don't know what to tell you. So I'm going to put him in respectfully obsessed, although he probably doesn't really belong there. Okay, next for Elminster. I don't have anything against him being old, but I don't like his vibes. Like, he was just like, I really want to go to your camp and I want to have wine and cheese. And it felt like he was kind of just like mooching off of us, like at camp. And he was just delivering all this bad news to Gale, and I don't know. And he's so old. Like, honestly, That's not the only factor, but I don't see it at all. I'm putting it in and I'm blocking you. Next, we have Counsellor Florrick. I mean, honestly, I feel like I haven't really seen her enough in the game to have much of an opinion of her. I feel like we're literally always just like saving her from fires, or we're saving her from jail and stuff like that. I mean, she's pretty attractive, but I don't know. I personally haven't really delved into her character very much, so I don't really feel any type of way. So based on attraction alone, I'll put her in no, but I've thought about it because, I mean, she is pretty resilient and she's survived a lot of different situations, so I feel like she has that going for her. Mayrina is immediately going in, I'm blocking you. I absolutely cannot stand Mayrina. Like, she's so rude, and I understand that she's going through something, like with her husband being dead, but I just, no, Mayrina, like, absolutely not. Like, like, the way that she treats you when you're literally saving her life, like, I just can't deal with her at all. Like, I don't know. I can't. Okay, next we have Wulbren, which again to me is going in I'm blocking you. I mean, he definitely has confidence. He could lead a revolution, I'm sure. And he's a great leader. That being said, he's just not for me. I just don't see anything attractive about this character. I'm sorry. Okay, next we have Orpheus, which I don't know, like, I mean, he can be nice enough, I guess, if you save him and you take certain paths, but I've just, like, literally never considered the romance potential of him. I mean, he seems very loyal and very dedicated because even if he is angry with you, if you've, like, saved him to kind of fight against the absolute, he does, like, accept his cause and he will fight with you to the end. So I think that's great, but I don't know. I don't see any romance potential with him personally. Okay, next we have Jaheria. Jaheria honestly could get it. I feel like I love her confidence. I love her leadership. I feel like she has a really strong woman aura. So I'm going to put her in... I'm stuck between casual flirting and respectfully obsessed. Honestly, though, I feel like she would probably be, like, really hot in a relationship. So I'm going to put her in respectfully obsessed. She just has really good vibes. Okay, next we have Nettie. Well, she kind of tried to kill us, like, in the very beginning of the game without having much information about us. I mean, I guess she did hear you out, but I don't know. I don't like her very much. So I think I'm going to put her in I'm blocking you. Okay, next we have the Sovereign Spaw, which I kind of like this character, weirdly. I feel like he genuinely cares about his colony and not just about power, which I find actually really attractive. And I love the cute little dance that they do, and I feel like he's so warm and welcoming, especially after you help him. So I'm gonna put it in casual flirting. Like, maybe I'm weird for that, but like I feel like he belongs kind of high. Okay, next we have Minsc, which I'm going to put him on blocking you. Not because I don't like his character. I feel like he's really cute and endearing, but he does not give me romance vibes whatsoever. Like, I feel like his personality is just, like, too immature and childish, and he would make, like, an amazing friend, but definitely not a good lover, like, in my opinion. Next, we have Abdirak from the Goblin Camp, who does that, like, torture thing to give you the love of Leviathar. So, Abdirak, honestly, I'm going to put him in respectfully obsessed because, I mean, he's a little bit crazy. He has a torture pain kink, obviously, but I find that, like, a little bit intriguing of him, honestly. And he's not that bad looking. He has a really cool outfit, and I just find him to be a very interesting character, and I would like to get to know him better. Okay, next we have Korilla, which, I mean, she's kind of like gives me stalker vibes, but at the same time, it's like she is kind of looking out for you. That being said, she's not very attractive, and I don't see any particularly cool qualities about her that appealed to me. So I'll say no, but I've thought about it, but I don't know. So there's not much appeal to me there. Okay, now these are the Drow Twins. Honestly, I feel like they're both pretty equally attractive. They definitely have an interesting history. They do a pretty good job of trying to make all the characters, I feel like, comfortable in, you know, the situation that they're in. I feel like I'll just put them in casual flirting because though they're both pretty attractive, I just don't see it going beyond casual flirting for me. Okay, next we have Lakrissa, which is a pretty minor NPC, I feel like. But the thing that stood out to me is when you talk to her at the tiefling party, she says, "Oh, I wouldn't want to keep you all to myself," or something like that. And it sounds so suggestive that it like actually appealed to me a little bit. So I'm going to say no, but I've thought about it because I feel like I don't know enough about her. But just that one line did attract my attention. Next we have Araj, which is the drow that was trying to get Astarion to bite her. I mean, I don't like that she was doing that, but it does kind of give you a sense that she's a little bit freaky, which is kind of interesting, I guess, to me. She kind of seems like a toxic situationship that you would have, maybe, who's into a little bit of freaky stuff. I'm gonna put her in casual flirting, I think. Okay, next we have Duke Ravengard, Ulder Ravengard, Will's dad. He's attractive, so I'm gonna put him in no, but I've thought about it. But the thing that I don't like about him is that he seems very, like, I feel like he held a grudge against Will for so long when Will was only trying to help and Will was a kid. So I definitely don't like that about him. Like, he seems like he'd be the kind of guy who's a little bit too steadfast in his ways and just does not really like to hear people out very much. That being said, I mean, he does eventually kind of forgive Will if Will, you know, shows him with the tadpole exactly what he went through. So at least he was open to that, but I feel like, I don't know, I just don't see much romance potential in him because he comes across to me as very closed-minded. And that's even before he was infected with the tadpole. Okay, next we have Art, which I find something like, first of all, he's very physically attractive in my opinion. And second of all, I feel like he just has like some kind of tragic, hot aura about him. And I did talk to him also after beating Ketheric, like after we kind of cleared the shadow curse and stuff, and was trying to see if he would come along with us. Obviously, that's not really an option because he's not a potential companion. But he was like, no, that's really not for me. Like, I really appreciate you, but I feel like my health is declining and I've done what I can type of stuff. So he kind of gives me like a very tragic hero type of vibe. So I'm going to put him in respectfully obsessed because I've always found him a little bit intriguing, honestly. Next, we have Voss, which I do kind of like how he does end up aligning with Lae'zel if you go through a certain path, and he is open-minded in that respect. That being said, he was really rude in the beginning. I feel like he was really condescending and really arrogant. I don't know. And then if you don't go along with what he wants, he can be pretty harsh towards you. So I don't know. And I hate his look. So I'm putting him in I'm blocking you because I just can't see the romance potential of that. Okay, now for He Who Was, which I know one of you in the comments has really been asking for me to include this character in a lot of my videos, and I kept being like, well, I haven't like seen him yet. Like, I always miss him in my playthrough, so I don't know enough about him. Well, finally, I played through his scene yesterday, and this character is actually super intriguing to me. Like, he's really, really attractive, and I thought the concept was really cool of he tries to take a judgment on after someone has passed if they deserve to be tormented or not, basically, in the afterlife. So I feel like his character, like, honestly, I'm gonna put him in respectfully obsessed because I do like how he kind of was thinking for himself and he was having a moral dilemma. He wants to do the right thing. He has a very strong sense of duty, which makes me think he has a very strong sense of loyalty, probably, and he believes in justice. So he has that going for him. That being said, I do feel like he would be emotionally unavailable and he might be a little bit cold in a relationship, which is why I'm not putting him in the top tier. Next we have Sceleritas. I think that's how you pronounce that. But this is kind of the character that guides you along in your Dark Urge playthrough. I feel like he's very theatrical. He's oddly cheerful in really dark circumstances, and he obviously seems very crazy. I think a romance with this character would definitely be cursed, and I feel like you'd really never be able to trust him. For those reasons, I'm putting him in I'm blocking you, because I just feel like not being able to trust a character is really a downfall of a romance. Okay, next we have Mizora, and I'm sorry if this doesn't even make logical sense, but ruin my life, please. I never hesitate to romance her in like every single one of my playthroughs, unless I'm romancing Will because he has a huge problem with it. But Mizora is just so appealing to me. I don't even know why. It's just like, I know it's wrong, and I know she's messed up, and I know she almost kind of like uses you to try to like get to some of the characters. Like, I feel like she likes the drama, she likes to upset some of the other characters, but I really just like the idea of getting a taste of hell from her, and how she says that you haven't experienced the pleasures of other domains essentially, and wants to show you that. Like, I feel like with her it's more of a physical lust thing that's making me put her in the top tier, but so be it. Okay, next we have Emperor. I'll probably get canceled for this, but Emperor could ruin my life any day as well. I know he's manipulating me, but I have always kind of seen him from the beginning as like the bodyguard protector type of trope. He's not a protector. I know it's not actually a protector, but if you just like let me be delusional for a second, I feel like he does give bodyguard vibes. And ultimately, like when you do get to the Nether Brain, and if you bring him to the end instead of Orpheus, like he doesn't kill you. I mean, obviously he leaves, but he doesn't kill you. So I guess he has that going for him. But I know he's manipulative, and I've seen a lot of scenes now at this point where he exposes to you that he was basically mind controlling Duke Stelmane and stuff the whole time. And you find out his previous past with Ensor the dragon and everything. And it's just like, he's not a good person. But that being said, just like from a romance potential side, I did really like the romance scene with the Emperor. I thought it was kind of sweet, especially the form in which the Emperor stays like in the Mind Flayer form, and then you kind of accept him for who he is, and he doesn't feel like he needs to change. Because if you do the romance scene and you sleep with him in his other form, like his human form, then the next morning you wake up and he's shifted back to a squid, he'll be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, like it took me a lot of energy to do that. But if you actually sleep with him in his current Mind Flayer form, he like wakes up super relaxed and stuff. So I thought that was like a little bit sweet. But I know he's a manipulator, please don't tell me that he is. I know that, but like I don't know, there's just something about him. Okay, next for Glut, I'm definitely blocking Glut. Like, Glut is so power hungry. He turns against you regardless of if you help him or not, essentially. Unless you're like literally following him into getting him into power, like he will turn against you, and he just has bad intentions, and I just find that really off-putting. So I'm putting him in I'm blocking you. And also like just look at how he looks. Like, need I say more? Anyway, so that concludes my video on the rest of these NPCs. There's probably some I missed. Like, if I missed any that you guys wanted to see, let me know. I mean, maybe I could make a part 3 with if I have enough that maybe I missed or more that you wanted to see. But I included all the ones that were important to me, I think, so far in here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.